So this week's topic of Amuna Mondays was when life gets overwhelming. And before we begin, the class is dedicated to a couple names. I'll say them now and I'll repeat them at the end as well. So it's for Rafua Shalema for Leah Lilach Bat Sarachana. May she have a speedy, immediate, full recovery. And Lu'ule Nishmat for Gabrielle Masauda Bat Sarah and Roger Asher Ben Marcel. May both their neshamas have the ultimate aliyah. So, the topic of when life gets overwhelming, the reason I chose this topic was because I genuinely felt like every single person has been in this situation in their life where they feel overwhelmed. And it's a topic to definitely talk about, as well as it's just really related to me in the prior week. So I figured, you know what, we'll go ahead and use real life examples and say lessons learned from actual situations rather than from a book. And so pretty much last week was just like one of those weeks that I genuinely like found myself questioning God. And I haven't really done that in honestly years. Really, I really haven't questioned God. Maybe a little bit after my accident, like on the like in the immediate days, but other than that, I really haven't. And it just really put me in this like tough position where I found myself genuinely saying like I'm not a robot, because like I just felt like these challenges are coming so often, so fast and so hefty, and it was just like I have no time to breathe, like no breaks and this and that, and it's just like I'm not a robot, God, like relax. And I found myself saying that throughout the entire week. And so now I'll just give a breakdown. So pretty much like I've been working at a job for the past 2 years, and it's recently switching over to something else. So I'm leaving that job. So I had something lined up, um, and it would just result in me having to leave the state and this and that, and it's obviously not ideal. And at the end of the day, it was covering everything that I needed. It was like it was what I needed. Um, Bills wise, and it would take care of things like that. And out of nowhere, I was stressing on it. I'm not even gonna lie, I was stressing on it, like having to look for a new job and this and that. After years, it's just a different thing for me, and it was getting like stressful. I was just like, what do I do? Like, what should I go into? What should I transition into? Blah blah blah. I didn't know, and all of a sudden, uh, somebody reaches out and offers me a position. So I was just like, wow, Hashem really comes through every single time. There's no reason to I don't even know why I question him. And then a little bit after that, so I started my training for that job. And then within literally the first 2 days of working at that job, I was attempting to sell my MacBook. And I was talking to this person for like maybe a week, trying to schedule a meetup time, like one would work, but my schedule is just extremely busy, so I've just never been able to. And then the person reaches out and messages me to, hey, let's meet up, or are you available now? And it was like 1 p.m. So I said, no, when I finish work, I'll be available. I can reach out then. We worked out a time, we met. I'm talking to the guy for 5 solid minutes, and all of a sudden, he takes the Mac in his hand. So I was just like, oh no, I'll hold on to it. And he's like, oh no, I'm taking it. And I was like, okay, you can take it, but like, where's the money? And then he like lifts his shirt and he had a gun. And I was just like caught off guard, but at the same time, just like, what? So I just looked at him and I was like, are you serious? And then he takes it out and points it at me. And I just looked at him and I was like, all right, enjoy it. So he stole it. And I was just like so numb at that point. I was just really numb, just like, where's this coming from? Like, what the hell? Why did this happen? And like so numb to the point where like I was in the elevator going back home when I was like, oh, I should probably call the cops and like report it. And that's what I did. And then out of nowhere, one of my friends messaged me Friday morning to go on to go to a hotel for Shabbat. And anybody that knows me knows like I really don't like to just do last minute. I'm not very impulsive when it comes to doing things like that. And like 99% of the time I'll just say like no. And for some reason, I don't know why, I was just like burnt out from the whole week. I was like, honestly, yeah, let's do it. My friend, everybody was caught off guard. So I went ahead and did it. Just to go there, I had an amazing Shabbat, and I come back and I get my car back from valet, and my windshield is cracked. And I'm just really trying to just like comprehend everything that's happening. I was like, what do you want, God? Like, I'm genuinely not a robot. And only in the class on Monday did I realize, like, I found myself saying that so often last week, but the truth is, I wasn't saying it to God. I thought I was saying it to God, you know? But the truth is, I was saying it to myself. Like, Matt, you're not a robot. Like, it's okay to have an off day. It's okay to feel. You know, you're not a robot. And I live by this mentality. Every time you get knocked down, you get back up. But the truth is, there's not a timer. Just because you get knocked down doesn't mean you immediately that second need to get back up. Take a minute. Take 10 minutes. Take the day. Get back up. You know, feel. And I found myself saying that so often last week, and only in the class did I realize I wasn't saying it to God. I was saying it to myself. And the truth is, it's like, it's very easy to turn to God when things are going crazy. But when things are going well, we really don't acknowledge God. We really don't. And it's like, we only comprehend it to be overwhelming because we think it's all us. It's me, all the responsibilities on me. But the truth is, it's not. Like, when I look back at everything that happened that past week, nothing was in, like, yeah, I can acknowledge the little roles that I've played on myself, but it never exceeded to the point where it was like, it made sense for what happened, which means it's God. Like, it's not all me, but I was taking full responsibility for it, which was, and taking the whole world's problems on my shoulders and comprehending all this stuff when it's like, Matt, you're not a robot. Handle your stuff. That's it. Do you. Take a day for yourself. This and that. And it was like, there's others, God is involved as well. There's another party involved. And this party is not like a 50-50 split. You can do 99 and say, God, all I'm doing today is this. And I need you to just take care of the rest of the 99 for today, for the next hour, for the next 10 minutes, whatever it is, because I need time to recoup myself. And again, that takes self-honesty. You can't just go and be like, oh God, I need a break, and then run off to the bathroom and go play video games on your phone or something. Like, no, be real, be genuine. You know? And it's, if you need time, communicate that. Say, God, I'm taking the break for the next hour, and whatever problems I have, whatever necessities and needs I have, if you can just please take care of them. And it's like, it's not all you. And where does overwhelming come from? It comes from the fact that you feel like it's all you, which gets to the point where it's overwhelming because, again, it's not all you. It's not meant to be all you. A lot of things you don't control. And it's a tough concept because we get to choose right or left, but at the same time, we don't choose which one's right. We don't choose which one's the correct path. So it's like, oh, because I chose right and it ended up being a bad path, I now blame myself for it. When it's like, no, at the end of the day, you choose right or left. Which one is correct is completely up to God. And to take the full responsibility of the fact is just bizarre. And you find yourself really beating yourself up. And again, taking the whole world's problems on your shoulders, which end up you being overwhelmed. So all I'm saying is to factor God into the equation, and it doesn't have to be an even 50-50 split. It doesn't always it never has to even make sense. This is a joint effort. It's between you and God, and that's it. And between you and God, when there's going to be times where you're going to want 90% of it and God's only going to do 10, and there's going to be times when you only want to do 1% and you only find yourself being able to do 1%, and God will handle the other 99. So don't take the whole world's problems on your shoulders. Nobody's perfect, and to strain for perfection, to aim for perfection is honestly, it's just damaging because it leads to being overwhelmed. So take the time, and again, you're not a robot. It's okay to feel. So the names again were Refuah Shalema for Leah Lilach Bat Sarah Chana. May she have a speedy, immediate, full recovery. And Lule Nishma for Gabrielle Masoud Bat Sarah and Roger Asher Ben Marcel. May both their neshamas have the ultimate aliyah. See you next week.